Now, let us go to the further point, that is Earth's gravitational acceleration. Now, here children, up till this part of the lesson, everywhere we have heard the word earth, we have heard the word gravitation. This third word which you can see here, it is acceleration. This already we have learned in 9th standard. Just recall yourself. Acceleration, what do you mean by acceleration? Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity, that is the change of the velocity per unit time. Now, here according to Newton's second law of motion, a force acting on an object results in its acceleration. Suppose we consider a car is at rest. If it is at rest, its velocity is 0. But if the force is applied on it, then its velocity changes. From 0, it may reach up to 30. So, is there the change in the velocity? Yes, it is. So, what is acceleration? Final velocity minus the initial velocity per unit time. So, it will be 30 minus 0. So, this is nothing but it is acceleration, that is the velocity goes on changing. So, here thus the gravitational force imposed by the earth on an object results in its acceleration. This is called as Earth's gravitational acceleration and is denoted by small g. Capital G already we have learned, that is universal gravitational constant, its value never changes. But here this is the acceleration caused by Earth's gravitation, and that is denoted by the small letter g. Now, here let us do one more activity children, again the same. I have taken the roll of the sellotape in my hand. Now, when the sellotape is in my hand, its initial velocity is 0. Now, if its initial velocity is 0, if I throw it upward, the velocity will go on increasing. At a certain height, it will be 0, and from there it is brought down due to Earth's gravitational force. Means here the velocity of this object will go on changing. 0, in the center it will increase, at the top here it will become again 0, and then again while coming down the velocity will go on increasing, and when it touches the ground again it will be 0. Means here acceleration takes place every time. So, this acceleration, that is the velocity changes. Now, this acceleration which is caused by the earth is called as Earth's gravitational acceleration. Now, we have seen it is denoted by which letter? It is denoted by the letter G. Now, let us find the value of this G. We are learnt the value of capital G, that is universal constant of gravitation. Already we have learnt its value of it. Now, here we have to learn the value of small g, that is acceleration caused due to Earth's gravitation. It is also called as Earth's gravity. It is also known as Earth's gravity. So, here what is the value of g and how it has to be calculated? See here children, according to Newton's universal law of gravitation, every two objects on the earth, they apply the force on each other, and that force in between two objects is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So, here the equation is F is equal to G m upon r square. Here G is the gravitational constant whose value we know, m is mass of the earth, and small m is mass of the another object, upon r square, where r stands for the radius of the earth. Now here m is the mass and r is the radius of the earth. Now see here children, here capital R is considered as the radius, then what is this small r considered to be? Small r is considered to be the distance between the center of the earth and the object, that is considered to be small r. Now in last year we have learned the formula for force. Force is equal to m into a, that is mass into acceleration. Now here who causes the acceleration? Acceleration is caused by earth, and that is why it is called as earth's gravitational acceleration or earth's gravity and denoted by g. So here we can make the formula F is equal to m into g. As both equations 3 and 4 are of force, let us equate them. So by equating, what happens? mg is equal to gmm upon r square. So here m from here and m from here gets cancelled. So what is the value of g? What is the formula of g? G is equal to g m upon r square. Now if the object is situated on the surface of the earth, then the distance between the object and the earth is considered to be its radius. That is why here in the formula you can see, instead of small r, capital R is given. So the formula of this g becomes g m upon r square, where r is the radius of the earth. Now if you substitute the values of universal constant, mass of earth and radius of earth, then here universal constant is 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11, mass of the earth it is 6 into 10 raised to 24 upon radius of the earth is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 bracket square. Now if you do the calculations of this, we get the value 9.77 meter per second square. This is the value of g which comes from the calculation. But as it is, we say that the earth is not in a circular shape, it is little bit elongated. Now if it is little bit elongated means we can slightly elongate it, it is not proper circular, it is slightly flattened at the poles and bulged at the equator. Now see here, if you consider this is the center of the circle, that is center of the earth, which we call it as the equator. So at the equator it is bulged and the earth is slightly flattened at the poles. Now if it is slightly flattened, then the radius between the elongated part and the radius up to this poles, the radius will change, as this is bulgy and this is flattened. Is it clear? So this distance of the object from the center is more than this distance. So according to the Newton's law of gravitation, more distance less force, less distance more force, means here more is the distance, less will be acceleration due to gravity, and here less is the distance, more will be acceleration due to gravity. Now let us see what is the change. And if it is changing, then as we said that capital G is universal constant, it remains constant anywhere in the universe, but small g, it is the acceleration due to gravity and it changes place to place. So this small g, that is acceleration due to gravity, it depends on which factors that we will see. The first factor on which the value of g depends is the shape of the earth. The second one, the height at which the object is, and the third one, the depth at which the object is. So let us elaborate one point and see. As we have learned that the earth is bulgy at the center and flattened at the pole. If it is flattened, r is less. If r is less, force is more. Now here this r is more, so force is less. So now see here, at the poles the value of G is 9.83 meter per second square, and at the equator it is 9.78 meter per second square. So, here at the equator it is different, at the poles it is different, then which correct value has to be taken? It is the 9.83 at the poles and 9.78 at the equator. So, instead of these two different values, one common value is taken when we solve the numericals, and that is 9.8 meter per second square. This is the common value which is taken for acceleration due to gravity. Now, let us see which is the second point on which it depends. The second point is height. So, here if the object is here only, then we say that it is on the surface of the earth. But if the object goes on increasing continuously, which moves away from the earth's gravitational pull, then there the gravitation goes on decreasing, finally it becomes 0. So, here the value of G decreases with the increased height. It varies as 1 upon r plus h bracket square, where r is the radius of the earth. Now, suppose from the center if you calculate, this is the radius. Above this radius, this much height is there for the object. So, what will be the total distance? This is r, this is h. So, it will be r plus h. Is it clear, children? So, change with the height. As the height increases, the gravitational pull goes on decreasing, the acceleration due to gravity goes on decreasing. And the last point on which the value of G depends, that it is depth. As we go below the earth's surface, the value of G goes on decreasing. As you go below inside the earth's surface, it will go on decreasing, and finally at the center of the earth, the value of G is 0. Now, if the value of G goes on changing on the earth, then how much it must be on the moon? The value of G is not same on any of the another planet. Is it clear? It varies from planet to planet. Now, this value of G, that is acceleration due to gravity, it is 1/6 of the earth's gravity on the moon. Means, suppose the weight of a person on the earth is 60 kg, then on the moon if he goes and if he checks his weight, there it is 10 kg. Now, why it is so? And here I use the word weight and I said 60 kg, 10 kg, then is it correct? Is the unit which I am using, is it correct? So, we are going to see now here the next topic, that is what is mass and weight. This is the very common distinguish in the exam point of view, very common distinguish between mass and weight, and this can be asked for 2 or 3 marks. So, here what do you mean by mass? Mass is the amount of matter present in the object. How much is the matter present in the object? That is called as the mass. It is a magnitude we require, that is why we say that mass is scalar quantity. Its unit is kg. And this mass of the object means, again I am taking the same, the roll of the sellotape. If I measure it here, the mass, that is in kg, it will be the same. Even if I take the roll of the sellotape on the moon and if I measure its mass, mass will be same. Then what will be different? Weight of this will be different. Is it clear, children? Weight of this will be different. Mass will be the same here also and on the moon also, but weight will be different here and on the moon. Now, what is exactly the weight? The weight is the force which acts on the object and attracts it towards the earth. So, here weight is the force with which the earth attracts any of the object. Means here weight is nothing but on this mass there is the downward force. So, mass and force is acting. And which force is acting? It is the Earth's gravitational force, that is Earth's gravity. So, we can make the formula for weight is equal to m into g, that is mass into gravity. Now, weight is the force and the unit of force is Newton. That is why the unit of weight also becomes Newton. Force is a vector quantity, that is why weight also becomes the vector quantity. Now, the weight of the object changes from place to place as the value of g changes. Value of g changes anywhere on the earth here, anywhere it goes on changing, and as the g changes, its weight will also go on changing. So, this is the concept of mass and weight. Now, related to this only, further let us see which is the next point. The next point is, children, free fall. What do you mean by free fall? We have heard this word in the amusement parks. Suddenly you all, if you are at a certain height, suddenly you come down, and this is nothing but it is called as the free fall. Now, see here, I will give you one of the example. Any of the fruit, when it ripens on its own, on the tree only, after ripening, the fruit never remains on the tree. It falls down, that is vertically downward towards the earth. Now, here which force is acting or who is pulling it? We are not doing anything to the fruit. Then how did the fruit come down? The fruit came down due to one force, and that is the force applied by the earth on the fruit. But when the fruit was coming down towards the earth, was there only for one force acting on it? Was it? Just think. Was it only one force, that is due to gravitational force it was coming? No doubt. But there were still more forces that were applied on the fruit. And which were those forces? The first force was the force of friction caused by air on the fruit, and the second one was the fruit is coming down. So, it is experiencing the upward force, and that is called as the force of buoyancy, which is acting in the upward direction. The fruit is coming downward, and this buoyancy, this is the upthrust which is acting in the upward direction. So, here let us see now, if on the earth when air is present, if so many forces are acting on the object, then what do this free fall mean? We can see the definition. Whenever an object moves under the influence of force of gravity alone, again I am underlining this word, force of gravity alone, it is said to be falling freely. Means on any of the object there should be only one force, not the frictional, not the buoyant force, there should be only one force, that is force of gravitation or the force of gravity that the earth acts on it. Okay. So, there should be only one force, and when only one force is there, then the body we can call for that body that it is freely falling body. Now, let us, I am explaining one activity. What is that activity? Take one stone in one hand and one ball of paper on another, in the another hand. Hold them together, stand at a certain height or stand on one of the building, and from there just throw both the objects down towards the earth. Here is stone, here is paper ball, and throw both of them. Which object will reach the ground first? Think a while. Sure, it is the stone which will reach first on the ground. Why not the paper ball? Now, here the stone is having more mass than the mass of the paper. So, though on the stone the frictional force is there or the buoyant force is there, it overcomes those forces due to more mass and comes down towards the ground. But the paper ball, it is having very less mass, and that is why the frictional force, the buoyant force which are acting on them, they oppose the fall, and that is why it comes a little bit slowly and falls on the ground after the stone. This is the one of the activity. Now, the same activity has to be done in vacuum. Vacuum means no air, nothing is there. Again, hold both of them, stone and the ball of paper, and throw them in vacuum at the same time. When you are throwing both the objects in vacuum at the same time, who will reach first towards the ground? Think a while, children. It's absolutely correct that the here in vacuum no air is there, means no frictional force. No air is there means no buoyant force, and no buoyant force, no frictional force means only one force is acting on it, and that is force of gravity. And that is why the stone and the ball of paper, they both will touch the ground at the same time because of free fall. That is, only one force is acting on it, and that is called as free fall. When only one force acts on the given object, it is called as free fall, and free fall is experienced by any of the object only in vacuum. I think the concept of the free fall must be clear to you. Now, in free fall, how do the kinematical equations made by Newton change? That we are going to see. First of all, we will see what are the three kinematical equations that already we have learnt in 9th standard. First equation is V is equal to U plus AT. The second equation is S is equal to UT plus half AT square, and the third equation is V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. These are the three kinematical equations. Now, these three kinematical equations of motion, how do they change in free fall? Now, let us see here. V is final velocity, U is initial velocity, A is acceleration, T is time, and S is displacement. So, here when the objects are in the hand or at a place for the free fall, then at that time their initial velocity is 0 meter per second. Now, here if the initial velocity is 0, then it is a free fall, means only one force is acting on it, and that is force of gravity. So, in the place of A, we can write G. So, the first equation in free fall, how does it become? V is equal to, this is 0 plus G T. So, it becomes V is equal to G T. This becomes the first equation. Now, let us see how the second equation changes. Here it is 0. So, UT will be 0 only. So, here S is equal to half GT square. So, again S is equal to half GT square. Wherever A is there, you have to write G. Wherever U is there, you have to write 0. And the third one, V square is equal to, in the place of A, what we have to write? It is G. So, it will become V square is equal to 2GS. So, the three kinematical equations of motion, they change like this in free fall. Now, here when the object is thrown in the downward direction, means it is going towards the direction of the force. Is it clear? So, here it is towards the ground, means its value, that is the value of G, should be taken positive. Value of G we have seen that it is 9.8. So, it is positive when it is in the downward direction. But if you throw it in the upward direction means the object is going in the upward direction means against the gravitational pull it is going. So, there you have to take the value of g as negative, that it will be minus 9.8 meter per second square. Now, here Moon and other satellites, they orbiting the earth experience the free fall since they move under the influence of earth's gravitational force only. At the starting of the lesson, we had learned this example of centripetal force, and here that is why we say that the moon and the satellites, they keep on revolving around the earth only because of free fall, means there is vacuum, and that is why in the vacuum they keep on revolving around the earth, means only one force is acting on them. Is it clear? So, this was the everything about free fall.